For some, it may be hard to imagine life without the help provided by Winona Volunteer Services. This year, Winona Volunteer Services celebrates 40 years in the Winona community.
Celebrating 40 years in the Winona community is an event that we wanted to stop and pause at this year. And what we've been doing is talking with past volunteers, past board members that had their hands in the beginnings of volunteer services. And we kicked off the anniversary event with a fabulous volunteer recognition dinner. And we had individuals such as Craig Brooks and Bob Youngerman speak to our wonderful group of volunteers about how they saw volunteer services grow and change throughout the years. So we're trying to highlight to the community, we're 40 years old and we're still kicking, and because of that, because of their support, we're still looking ahead and how we can still make a difference in the Winona community. According to our records, it looks like the formal senior co-op started in 1983. And they saw the need to help a lot of seniors who mainly get a Social Security check to help stretch their grocery dollars. So back in the day, the food shelf was just open for seniors. And the room was probably no more than maybe 200 square feet. It was a little office space in the clothes shop building at 416 East 2nd Street. And it was, we mainly had two volunteers that ran the food shelf on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And then another volunteer handled it on Friday afternoons. Then, we looked at, there was a lot more grant monies available to provide more product. There certainly was more statewide focus on how can we help more people. And in order to do that, we needed to change the size of our food shelf. So we realized, maybe it's time to make a little switch. And sure enough, the building on the corner, 402 East 2nd Street, came up for sale again. And we passed on it 2 times, but the 3rd time we really took a serious look at that. And by converting from that smaller space into a much larger food shelf, we were certainly able to get the word out that we were there to help people in Winona that met the income guidelines. And we steadily saw our numbers increase. And I think in part that had to do with 2007 and 2008 with a lot of the cutbacks and the reduction of working hours for some of our folks. I am happy to say that the peak of maybe seeing 1,000 households in a month in the food shelf has now slowly declined. The numbers we have steadily seen this year are maybe 20 to 30 households less than last year. So that is a good thing. And we're continuing to increase the amount of food product we have available to our shoppers. And we're able to offer them additional resources and contacts with other community providers. So I think certainly the food shelf, back when volunteer services started, has really put an imprint for serving the public as unintended, because that was not a part of our original mission. But I think it's a very worthwhile and helpful program here in Winona.
Well, tomorrow we'll continue our conversation with Sandra about the expansion of Winona Volunteer Services.